October 10, 2025. The cold morning sky over eastern Ukraine hums with a strange sound. Russian drones, slowly advancing toward Ukrainian army positions. Dozens of soldiers stand ready in their trenches. Some adjust their headsets, others grip their weapons tighter, waiting for what's coming next. The air is thick with tension. These aren't fighter jets or bombers. They're small machines, each no bigger than a backpack, but powerful enough to destroy tanks worth millions. As the swarm gets closer, the question isn't if they'll strike, it's where. Every soldier watches the sky. Every radar screen flickers. This is not the old kind of war. It's a new one. Silent, digital, and deadly. A war where machines hunt, humans guide, and the future of combat is being rewritten every single day. Before we continue the video, I have a small request. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of hard work and time to create, and with your support, we can keep bringing powerful and informative stories like this straight to you. The Drone Revolution: How FPVs Changed Modern Warfare. The war in Ukraine has entered an era unlike any seen before. Instead of fighter jets roaring across the sky, the battlefield hums with the constant buzz of small FPV drones, machines no larger than a shoebox, yet powerful enough to change the outcome of an entire battle. These first-person view drones were never designed for war. They were toys for hobbyists and racers, built for speed and agility. But once the conflict began, soldiers and engineers saw their potential. By attaching small explosive warheads and operating them with headsets, these drones became guided missiles in human hands. Each FPV costs less than $500, cheaper than a single artillery shell, but can destroy tanks, armored trucks, or enemy trenches worth millions. Everyday footage floods social media. Drones diving toward their targets, explosions lighting up the horizon, and operators cheering in underground bunkers. What makes these machines so effective is their simplicity. They take off from makeshift platforms miles behind the front lines, guided by soldiers who watch through live camera feeds. The pilot sees what the drone sees, moving low through smoke and trees, closing in on a vulnerable engine or open hatch before impact. This new form of warfare has changed everything. Tanks now hide further back. Infantry move undercover. Fear has a sound. The high-pitched whine of a drone's propeller overhead. The battlefield has shifted from brute force to precision and adaptation. And for the first time in modern history, the smallest machines are winning the biggest battles. Inside the machine, cost, design, and deadly precision. At first glance, an FPV drone looks harmless. A plastic frame, 4 propellers, a small camera, and a battery pack. But every piece of it serves a deadly purpose. Built mostly from off-the-shelf components, these drones are assembled in basements, garages, and field workshops scattered across Ukraine. What once filmed weddings or mountain races now carries explosive warheads tied in place with cable straps. The simplicity is the secret. Each drone can be built in hours, often for less than $500, including the battery, motors, camera, and explosive charge. A single technician can produce several a day, giving commanders a steady flow of disposable weapons ready for launch. Their range varies. Some fly only 5 kilometers, others stretch to 20 or more, depending on battery size and payload weight. A soldier wearing a headset becomes the drone's eyes. Through the live camera feed, he flies across ruined landscapes, weaving between buildings and trees. Another operator beside him tracks the target on a tablet, reading digital maps and guiding every turn. When the moment comes, the pilot dives straight toward the weakest point of a tank, the open hatch, the engine, or the ammunition inside. Unlike artillery shells that rely on blind trajectories, FPV drones strike with intent. They chase moving vehicles, adjust mid-flight, and hit within inches of their mark. Every attack is recorded, analyzed, and shared to refine the next mission. In modern warfare, precision no longer comes from satellites or million-dollar missiles. It comes from human hands gripping a remote controller, and a drone no bigger than a backpack redefining what accuracy means on the battlefield. The long arm of the war, Russia's Shahed strategy versus Ukraine's counter-strikes. As the war dragged into its second year, the battlefield stretched far beyond the trenches. The hum of short-range FPVs was soon joined by the deeper, steadier sound of long-range drones, weapons designed to travel hundreds of kilometers and strike deep inside enemy territory. It began in the autumn of 2022 when Russia introduced the Iranian-made Shahed 136, a loitering drone built for one purpose: to fly low, far, and hit hard. Each unit costs less than $100,000, far cheaper than the air defense missiles Ukraine uses to shoot them down. The Shahed follows a pre-programmed route filled with sharp turns and deceptive paths, designed to confuse radar systems and drain Ukrainian defenses before the real missiles arrive. Night after night, the skies over Kyiv glow with tracer fire. Pickup trucks mounted with machine guns race through the streets, soldiers aiming blindly into the dark. For them, it's a race against time. If they miss, an energy plant or an apartment block could vanish in seconds. But Ukraine has learned fast. Engineers have begun building their own long-range drones, homegrown machines capable of striking deep inside Russia. In the beginning, most were lost to electronic jamming or interception. Yet over months of trial and failure, their reach has grown. By early 2025, Ukrainian drones were hitting targets hundreds of kilometers away: refineries, weapon factories, and power terminals. One strike in January set fire to Russia's massive Ust-Luga fuel terminal, halting exports for days. This new phase of the war no longer depends on borders. The front line now extends across the sky, invisible, unpredictable, and relentless, where distance is no defense and silence itself can turn deadly. The invisible front, electronic warfare, and the battle for signals. In Ukraine, not every battle can be seen. Some are fought in total silence in the invisible spectrum of radio waves and digital frequencies. This is the new front line, electronic warfare, where control of a signal can decide the fate of an army. When a drone launches, it becomes more than a machine. It's a moving signal, a stream of data between pilot and sky. Both sides know it. Russian and Ukrainian forces now deploy powerful electronic warfare systems to jam these signals, cut communication, and turn a drone's greatest strength into its weakness. For a pilot, losing connection is like going blind mid-flight. The camera freezes, the controls stop responding, and within seconds, the drone spirals out of the sky. Entire missions vanish into static. Yet this battle of frequencies is far from one-sided. Ukrainian operators have learned to adapt. When one frequency is jammed, they switch to another, obscure, encrypted, unpredictable. To stay connected, drone units now use signal repeaters, small devices placed miles away, or even attached to other drones. These repeaters extend range, hide the operator's true location, and make it harder for the enemy to trace the signal back to its source. It's a cat and mouse game. Every new jammer met with a counter. Every new counter met with a stronger jammer. In the trenches, soldiers call it the ghost war. No explosions, no gunfire, just invisible waves colliding in the air, deciding which drones will fly and which will fall. In this hidden battlefield, the strongest weapon isn't firepower or armor, it's control. Control of the unseen, the digital, and the silence between every hum of a drone's propeller. Adapting to survive. How Ukraine is turning defense into innovation war changes everything. And in Ukraine, it's changing faster than anyone imagined. What began as survival has turned into innovation. Faced with limited resources and relentless attacks, Ukraine's army has learned to fight smarter, not bigger. Every brigade now has its own assault drone unit, trained pilots, mechanics, and engineers working together like a digital strike force. From underground workshops to repurposed warehouses, teams assemble hundreds of FPV drones every week. Each one carries the fingerprints of a nation refusing to surrender. Portable jammers, once rare, are now standard in trenches. Soldiers move with handheld devices that can block incoming drones, creating temporary shields in the sky. Pickup trucks mounted with machine guns patrol rural zones, waiting for the sound of the next swarm. And behind every strike, coders and technicians monitor digital maps, tracking drone routes in real time. Ukraine's defense is no longer reactive, it's adaptive. Every attack brings new data. Every loss teaches a new trick. The result is an army that evolves daily, learning faster than the machines it fights. Even Russia's overwhelming numbers struggle against this wave of creativity. What Ukraine lacks in mass production, it makes up for in ingenuity, transforming ordinary tools into extraordinary weapons. This is not just survival, it's evolution under fire. As the sun sets over shattered cities, the air still hums with distant propellers. Somewhere, another pilot puts on his headset. Another drone takes flight. This is the future of war, silent, cheap, and unstoppable. A future where machines don't just fight for humans, they learn from them. The war in Ukraine is more than a conflict. It's a blueprint for what's coming next. A new era where technology decides who lives, who falls, and who adapts fast enough to survive. In this war, the strongest weapon isn't power, it's progress.